How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review here today, and gum chewing Sony State of Play Ramble, and maybe a little video games Ramble on top of that. We'll see. I got another Celsius here today. This is the Celsius Live Fit Sparkling Cherry Cola. This one was mentioned to me in the comments as one I might like. So let's see. The other two have been alright. This one could be interesting. Not bad. It's alright. First two sips, it doesn't have that taste. It tastes like a diet cherry Coke, or any kind of diet cherry drink. Maybe more like a diet cherry Pepsi. Who owns these people? Are they their own thing, Celsius? I know you look at some of these and you're like, owned by Coke, owned by Pepsi, owned by whoever. They have their hands in fucking everything. It's not bad. It doesn't really have that flavor. That Celsius flavor, we'll call it, that weird aftertaste type shit. It's not bad. Let me get another sip here. I'm going to go with 6.5 on this one because I don't mind diet sodas, obviously. I've been drinking them actually a decent amount lately. Diet Baja Blast, Diet Pepsi, whatever. It's a little bit better than the other ones. And once again, that Celsius flavor is less, which is nice. But I gotta say, the cherry kind of cola taste isn't as strong as I would like. I'm gonna go 6.5 on it. It's not bad though. These last three have not been bad. Nothing's wowing me though. I want to find one that's gonna come back. Oh, I gotta give it at least an 8, because I'm typically just giving shit 8s all the time. Just call me the 8er. I don't even know what the fuck that means. The 8er. It's not bad though. It tastes like a Diet Cherry Coke. Or Diet Cherry Pepsi. I think it's more Diet Cherry Pepsi. It tastes like wild cherry, whatever the fuck theirs is called. I'm gonna go 6.5 on that Celsius Cherry Cola though. What was the caffeine count on this thing? Was it 200? Yes. Here's my caffeine for the day. Alright. The Sony State of Play was yesterday, I believe. I got comments I haven't responded to yet talking about it. I immediately was like, I gotta do it. And I gotta do it for one fucking game only. I'll probably ramble on about video games in general as well here. But some people didn't like this one. I thought they showed stuff that I was interested in. Because everybody's gonna have different opinions on what they're interested in. But there's one game. I watched this on Jeff Gerstmann's thing. I saw that he was watching it. I guess I watched it last night. I assume it would have been midday or something that it actually went on. And typically something like that. I've been watching that guy. I've talked about him before. I've been watching him since like the late 90s, early 2000s on GameSpot and shit. And then followed him over to Giant Bomb, and now he's doing his own thing. He founded Giant Bomb, but now he just does it himself. He talks to people that he knows in the industry and friends and stuff. First thing they showed was Marvel's Wolverine Long. I think this game looks cool. It comes out in September. I don't know if I'm going to pay $70 for it, to be honest with you, but Very violent, as you would expect from this game. I guess it was Jean Grey. Jean Grey showed up. And then they showed Sabretooth. He's fighting, like, what do they call them? The Reavers? Random fucking enemies, right? I feel like these games, you almost have to kind of throw in a generic kind of enemy just so you can have a ton of them to just wipe out. It looks violent. It looks pretty cool. Some traversal stuff in there. And some people have said in comments, a lot of people are like bashing it on Instagram at least. I mean, I don't see where that is all coming from, but I will agree with some of it that, some of the critique that I could see it maybe getting a little old fast. You're just constantly stabbing the shit out of people. But that's the point of a Wolverine game, right? You're going to be ripping people up with the claws. But I could see that maybe getting a little stale after a bit. But it's hard to take a ton from just that. Where did this go? Why did this go backwards? Son of a bitch. There we go. No, I hit some. I thought it looked pretty cool. Graphically, it looked pretty nice. The guy who's doing the voice for Wolverine was alright. Like I said, Sabretooth, they showed it towards the end of the trailer. Somebody who looked like Deadpool but was not. He couldn't have been. I might have seen Omega Red. Was that his name in the trailer? But it's something I would not check out immediately. I wouldn't pay the $70 for it. Just because that's me. I don't want to pay $70 for a game. But that looked interesting. It's one I'd be interested in playing. Until Dawn 2, that came later. It was a similar thing. At first, I was like, what kind of game is this? There's a bunch of people, I think they're paranormal investigators on like an island, a tropical island. And then it turned into, okay, it's Until Dawn, and people are dying, characters are dying, shit. You're making choices. I'm always down for those type of games. I love them. Until Dawn was cool. I like The Quarry, and I like all the Dark Pictures games. So that would be cool. That's something that's interesting to me. Control, Resonant, that's coming out in the fall as well. Wolverine comes out in September. A lot of games coming out in September. That looks cool too. I played a little bit of the first one. It was fun what I played of it, but it's not one that I'm interested in, and that's just because I'm not interested in it. It looks cool, but I'm just not. That's not to say at some point I end up playing it, but they ended it with God of War. What is this here? Le Fay? So this is a prequel starring Kratos' wife, Faye. They show her, like, putting her body down, and it's her journey through the afterlife, I guess. I think the woman playing her is the woman from the Daredevil shows. I forget her name in the shows. The TV show, the Daredevil show. It looks nice graphically. It looks colorful. There's a lot of, like, look like there's some plant type things coming at you. I haven't played Ragnarok yet. I still gotta finish the end of the God of War from 2018. Look, like, once again, it looks fine. It's just something I'm not. Maybe I play at some point, but I don't know. I think it looks like they're trying something a little different, so I guess. The combat looked a little more, what's the word they use? Juggly, like Devil May Cry. When you're smacking a dude in the air and just smacking him like 60 times. It looked like a little bit more of that, so maybe the combat will be a little different. I don't know. And like people were saying, even with Wolverine, like, oh, it's always the same stuff. Look, it's going to be that point at this point, right? Video games have been around for a while now. You don't get a lot of original shit these days. You just don't. It's like movies at this point, right? You like to see people doing genres you've already seen well and not phoning it in, but listen, and for me personally, that's part of the reason I'm not super into this generation. I've liked plenty of stuff, but there's plenty of stuff I haven't finished. And listen, that's just because, listen, I mean, you hit a point where it's like, how much new ideas are you going to come up with? It's very hard to continuously come up with new ideas. And then you come up with a new idea, and people fucking hate it anyway. You know, it's hard. It's a harder thing. You can't win. You do what people have been doing, you don't like it. You do something new, they don't like it. It has to be exactly tailored to what they want. And that's hard to do sometimes. Because sometimes you'll do something new, and it's a startup thing, and then people may like this, but they don't like that part of it. But if it doesn't sell well enough, they never go back to it. So you don't get that second game in a series that ends up improving upon the first. You don't see that anymore because games cost way too fucking much to make as well, let's be honest. So if you try to take a risk, you could be screwed if people aren't into it and it doesn't sell. Because you're like, oh, well, I don't like this, and now, well, we're going to make a second one, we can't anymore. And maybe that second game would have improved upon it. Kind of like, we'll say Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2. People liked Assassin's Creed, but it got shit on that first game. And the second one improved upon so much shit, and you're like, here we go. This is awesome. And, of course, now it goes all over the place. People hate some, they like some of them. But yes, you don't see a lot of newer stuff. I think you're getting more of the unique and original stuff in the indie type games, or those, we'll call them AA or single A games, not high budget stuff. You'll see more creativity there. And you see some of the AAA, but they do play it safe, let's be honest, like movies. You have to go with what people do like until kind of they don't want it anymore. There was a Marvel game, Fighting Souls. I guess it's like Marvel. I don't know if it's Token. I don't know how to say that. There was a Dune game, apparently, which I did not. I don't think I saw that part. Silent Hill Townfall, I keep forgetting about. That comes out in September too. I'm interested in it. I love the Silent Hill shit. I'm always going to give it a chance. All right? I'm always going to give Silent Hill a chance because I love the franchise. And it looks pretty good. I think it takes place in Scotland, right? Someplace in Scotland, like a seaside town. Admittedly, I was tuning out of the other shit because, like I said, I was watching Jeff Gerstmann's thing, and then I was looking at the comments, and I saw a comment where I was like, what? I'm like, come on, let's get to this part. I need to see it. I'll get to it in a few minutes. But I am interested in Silent Hill Townfall. That looks pretty decent. There's a new Onimusha, Way of the Sword. That looked alright. I've only played a little bit of I'm sorry. I played more than a little bit of Onimusha 3. I think it was Demon Siege. Is it Gene Reno? Who was in it? Another dude. It was fun. They're almost like, at least the first couple were kind of like more, they were like almost horror-ish hack and slash type games. I don't know. I could be describing that completely wrong. Rayman Legends Retold. I guess that's kind of a remake. I've not played any Rayman games, shockingly enough. Dynasty Wars 3 Complete Edition Remastered. I don't know where that would have come out on. Maybe that was a PS2 game. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thev. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm always like, I've played a little bit of Ace Combat games here and there over the years. Mostly on the PS2. What did about 3 come out on the PS2? I think they're doing like a remaster, or just another digital version of the Belkin one. Belkin War. Because I think that was a PS2 one. I might have played a little bit of 4. I think was on the PS2. I played some of that. I don't have a lot of experience with them, but I love the trailers for them. And he was saying the same thing, Jeff Gerstmann. They're so usually over the top. You're like, what kind of story are you gonna get? It's like bad shit nuts stuff, but it looked cool. For sure. A lot of people were boning over that one. No Rest for the Wicked. I can't remember this one. And Phantom Blade Zero. I can't remember much of that either. There was that game first-person horror game that they've been showing a little bit. I feel like I've seen some of that. Looked decent. The Lost Wild. It has dinosaurs in it. He thought it was a Jurassic Park game. I was like, I don't know what this is. That is by the people that did, I think, The Medium. No. Not The Medium, sorry. That's Blooper Team. They did Stray, I know that. They've done some other stuff, too. Kamori. 3-player action yokai hunting game. This one looked interesting. It's all crazy combat. You're hunting yokai, I guess. That doesn't come out until these games come out 27. And Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. look cool. I think that's a remake of the original. I've never actually fully played the original game because I did not have a PlayStation back in the day. I had Nintendo 64. That looked cool remake. Something I might pick up. There might have been some other stuff, but let's talk about what we need to talk about. Okay. Stuntman is back. I was like, oh my god, when I saw this one person's comment. The person's like, Stuntman, I haven't heard that name in a while. I was like, wait, what? Get to the Stuntman part. Now this one looks cool because they have the DeLorean from Back to the Future. They have a kit from Knight Rider. I think there was a car from Fast and Furious. So it looks like, it's called Stuntman Hollywood. And it looks like you're going to be playing the Stuntman from actual franchises. Back to the Future, Knight Rider, maybe Fast and Furious. There was a car that reminded me of Fast and Furious car. But I was like, I put it on Instagram. I was like, holy shit. I was like legitimately pumped. Like I haven't gotten this pumped for the reveal of a game in years. Because I've talked about Stuntman and Condemned. I'm always like, I want a third Condemned game, a third Stuntman game. Well, there's a new Stuntman game, and it's cool that they're doing that. I think they have the, Universal license. They're the partner with Universal, so you're going to get stuff that's, Universal has under their umbrella. And I was just like, oh my god, yes. Like playing through it, the DeLorean shit, there's some cool shit to be had there. Now, I don't know if it's going to be part actual movies and part, because a cool part of the Stuntman is this, the satirical, just movies, like the Night Avenger's supposed to be Batman and stuff, and the Live Twice for Tomorrow is supposed to be Bond and stuff like that. They're little like kind of poking fun, satirical versions of movies. I don't know if they're not going to do that, and it's just all going to be actual movies, and it's still going to have that kind of Stuntman, goofy little bit of humor in there. But either way, I am pumped. I'm getting this game. If this game's 70, I might pay the fucking 70. Right out of the gate. Because I was like, are you kidding me? They're bringing it back. And it makes sense. He was saying the same thing when he's watching it. It makes sense to do it with these licensed kind of movies and cars now. Because then you might draw more people in. My Long Island accent really popped out when I said more. But I was like, I was so pumped. I'm like, everything dropped. Like, I was, Silent Hill Townfall. Because I think Townfall was before it. Wolverine was before it. God of War they ended with. But I was like, everything before, I was just like, whatever, I don't give a shit anymore, whatever. Oh yeah, Wolverine looks cool, I don't care. Stuntman. And that's a franchise that has only had 2 games before it. We won't count they had the port of the original Stuntman for the Game Boy Advance, which is actually a cool game. But I love those games, I fucking love them. And I'm super excited about it, but some decent stuff there. I'm legitimately really interested, obviously, in Stuntman and Silent Hill. Any Silent Hill, I'm going to be interested in. Now, if I buy it and I'm not into it, what are you going to do? But I'm always going to show my respect for Silent Hill. If it ends up not being good, it ends up not being good. If I love it, I love it. And that's great, but it's like a new Resident Evil and certain things like that are always going to get my interest. I think the Wolverine game looks pretty cool. I mean, listen, it looks like shit that's been done before. I'm not going to argue that. But, hey, I've played a ton of shit that I've played before. That's part of the reason, admittedly, I go back and play the older stuff. And we're talking the older stuff. When video games were the real deal, not this shit you get now. No, I'm kidding. But I'm enjoying the shit out of Resident Evil Requiem. So, that's not reinventing the fucking wheel. As long as it's done well, I don't care, But yeah, of course, like anybody else, I'd love to see some original stuff, but the problem is, for video game developers, especially when it costs so much money now, but it's funny, they won't say that about GTA when it comes out. They won't be like, or maybe they will. It's the same shit. It's the same fucking shit. But there's also a fucking 500-year gap between those games, so you're like so pumped for it. But they can't take the risk. You pop $200 million into a game, and it bombs. You're not doing another one. It's gonna get thrown by the wayside immediately. So I can understand where that probably come from. They're like, listen, Wolverine's a known quantity. It's Marvel. People will be into it. Most likely it's going to sell regardless. If people hate it or not, they'll buy it at first. But it has a lot of people boning over it too, so. And that probably costs a shit ton to make. It's a safer bet. Here's the thing, and it sucks because that game's a safer bet than making some weird new thing. That people want a new thing, and then it comes out and they can't fucking stand it. And they're like, well, that was a waste, and they never do another one. And it never gets a second chance to have a second game that improves upon the first. Because a lot of, especially back in the day, for the PS2 era, 360 era as well, they would make a new game, and that would almost be like laying the groundwork for a franchise, right? So it was good. It's a little rough around the edges, but there's stuff there. But it didn't cost a shit ton to make. And then they make the second one, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. And of course, some franchises right out of the gate are awesome, But some are good, but they're maybe mediocre, but there's stuff there. And then they improve upon it in the second one. It goes from there. You can't do that anymore when the game's going to cost a couple $100 million to make. Because if it tanks and it doesn't sell and you lose money, you can't risk trying to make a second one better. So I will say that they're in a bad position. I don't know why more. Some do. Ubisoft does some of the, I would assume, lower budget stuff, which is what they're doing with Prince of Persia and stuff now. But it's kind of like movies, like, you can have a movie in a known franchise, and for a game, you can make it a little lower budget here. Like, you can do things, But I can admit that, though, as well as the people griping about it. Video games are in a bit of a rut. There's no doubt about that. But I think you see more of the creative stuff in the indie games and the lower budget titles. I think the lower budget stuff can take the risk because it's like a horror movie. Obsession costs $750,000 to make. There's no risk, and it makes it over $100 million. These indie games probably cost a lot less to make. Maybe a couple million, maybe less. And all of a sudden they sell through the roof. I wouldn't mind if more big name companies went more lower budget stuff. I don't need huge fucking big budget fucking games. I really don't. This is me personally, of course. I'm not going to speak for everybody. I think that's the problem I personally have with people who talk about these games in comment sections of YouTube, Instagram, wherever. And it goes both ways. They say it's incredible, and they act as though their word is the final word. They say, oh, this looks boring and repetitive as fuck. And they just act like that's their opinion is the opinion. It's the same thing with the people creaming their jeans over something. Their opinion now is the opinion. But video games are the ultimate, you gotta get it to find out for yourself type thing, right? Unless everybody says it's a pile of shit, or everybody says it's the greatest thing ever. But then you'll get Death Stranding, which, I'm just using examples where everybody says it's the best thing ever, and then you have another group saying it's a pile of shit. Walking Simulator, which, hey, I'm a fan of walking simulators, okay? Firewatch, loved it. Gone Home, loved it. It's a high-budget walking simulator. I will eventually get around to playing those games, but, but that's how it goes. Like, people, it's like, it's with movies, too. It's the greatest thing ever. Everybody's saying that you finally watch it, and you're like, it's never going to live up to your expectations of what the people have, or the expectations of everybody who's been saying it's the greatest thing ever. But anyway, still playing Resident Evil, and loving the shit out of it. I am still Grace. I got out of the, I'm out of the main building of the home, the facility, whatever the fuck they're calling it. And now I'm helping this guy, I guess he's a helicopter pilot. I've taken the girl Emily out. Talking to her, I gotta find the keys now. It's not as easy as just finding the key. I have to solve a puzzle to go into an underground facility because it's Resident Evil. You're gonna end up in an underground facility probably. So I'm there now, but I'm really enjoying the shit out of it. And like I said, the actress who's doing Grace's voice acting, it to me is fantastic. Now she might be a little. The nervousness is like always there, which is fine. If that's how her character is, that's great. But she's always like a lot of like, oh, what do you want? Oh, but it works so well. She actually seems, and which is weird because Resident Evil universe is almost like these characters, once again, are like larger than life figures, right? Leon, it's funny when you pair Leon against Grace, it's like night and day. But Leon, it would make sense because Leon's been around this for 20 plus years. 25 fucking years, whatever it's been. He's a grizzled vet to all the fucked up shit that's been going on. But, still loving it. And like I said, her voice, you know what her voice acting reminds me of? It's like the Silent Hill 2 remake stuff, where the conversations are awkward because these are two. Oh, look, James just met up with Angel in the cemetery. It's not they're just start talking like they've known each other for years. No, it's awkward. You're like, who are you? It's real conversation. I love it. I want more of that in games. And Grace gives you that kind of, but the problem is she's playing off people who are, the voice acting's great, but it's almost like they're saying everything right, and she's just the nervous one. But her voice acting's so good, it's just so, she's nervous, she's definitely still scared and stuff. She's like, oh my God, she's not used to this. This is not what she signed up for type of thing, right? So well done. I gotta look up who does her voice. And Leon, of course, is throwing out his one-liners. He shows some concern here and there, but he's more like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. I don't even like the main bad guy, Victor Gideon. He's the main bad guy for now. He could be somebody else. But he has like Leon tied up. Leon breaks free and starts kicking his ass, and the other guy's got to get the fuck out of there. Because even though he's all fucking, he's like 7'5" or some shit, ripped, huge dude. He's got his little mask on that's freaking got little electronic stuff in it, whatever. He's still like, dude, I know this is Leon, and he's gonna fuck shit up. You know? But they do a good job of having the Leon, I'm kicking everybody's ass, and the Grace, this is not what I signed up for, this is all new to me. Nervousness. But it's the same thing with like Leon in Resident Evil 2. He showed more of, oh my God, I'm just a first day cop. It's my first day on the job. But he still was Leon, right? Grace, first, she worked for the FBI. This is her first, like, real thing here. And she's acting appropriately. But I am loving it. This chair is creaking a little bit. Fantastic game, though. I knew I'd love it. Listen, it's Resident Evil. It's like Silent Hill. I'm always going to give it a shot. And we'll say 70-80% of the time, I'm going to at least enjoy what I'm playing. Might not think it's the greatest thing ever, but I'm going to enjoy it. And this is what I'm really enjoying. Now, I will say Capcom is very good. And they've got Pragmata as well out that I need to check out at some point. That was mentioned in a comment, too. I keep forgetting about some games. And that one looks a little different. Capcom does well with, after Resident Evil 6, people are like, oh my God, we didn't like this one. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, like Capcom's good with like kind of reading their audience. Why did I fucking say it like that? Audience. They're good at reading their audience and kind of being like, okay. And then Resident Evil 7 comes out and kind of revives the franchise, gives a little shot in the arm, They're pretty good with it. Even with the Devil May Cry, the DMC that they published, but Ninja Theory made, I like the game. It's not as cool. I can admit that they made the characters a little more corny and a little more annoying for sure in that game. I'm not going to argue that, but I still enjoyed that game. Dante was a little bit more of a little shit, we'll say. Because he was. But then Devil May Cry was like, okay, Devil May Cry. Capcom was like, okay, and then they went back to doing it themselves with 4, which I really liked 4. I liked 5, but the environments, they talk about repetitive. I think the environments to me in 5 were too repetitive. I don't know. It's still, the combat was still there and everything, but I liked 4 more. So Capcom's good with that. Some companies will kind of be like, no, fuck you, They won't even listen to the gripes. Because, unfortunately, they're going to think they know best, and then the audience is going to think they know best. You need to get a good middle ground. You kind of need to be like, okay, take some of that criticism to heart. And some companies do. Some don't. But you know what Wolverine looks like? It looks like one of those kind of mindless fun games. I'm just going to go around obliterating everybody. And that's it. I've been all Resident Evil. I've taken, like I said, I knew this was going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and play any more Elder Scrolls for a little bit because I'm too focused. And that's a sign of a good fucking game. I want to keep playing. I want to make this video, go play it for a little bit, make another video, eat some lunch, make another video, play some more. I do have another video I have to film later for next week, which is a video I'm excited about. But yeah, that's just a 6.5 on the Celsius, the best reviewed one yet. Cherry Cola. And rambling about State of Play. Listen, I really want to just do the ramble on State of Play for Stuntman only. If people start hating on Stuntman, you can't, because it's only been the third game. And Stuntman is a little bit of a unique game. It's a car game, but you're doing certain stunts. It's cool. And they're bringing it back, and I think it's great that they have licensed cars. I still hope it has the goofiness of a Stuntman game. But you can do some things with that. Oh shit, you're doing I mean, it's gonna be fucking cool. You're playing through parts of fucking Back to the Future. In the DeLorean stuff, that's cool. Maybe Fast and Furious, Knight Rider. Knight Rider, they looked like a car that was something out of Fast and Furious. I have to go watch that part again. Let me know what you're excited about in the comments. Really let me know if you're excited about Stuntman. But yeah, this is just a drink review here, 6.5 on that, and Celsius Live Fit Cherry Cola. And rambling about Sony State of Play, and what did you think of it? You know, admittedly, real quickly, these shows don't have the impact they had when they would do them at E3 on a live stage with audience. They just, all companies, E3's done. They just do these things online now. So it doesn't have the same kind of like, oh, you got a crowd being like, oh my God. Everybody has seen Stuntman and be like, what the hell is this?